Hello there, guys. Can I rest now? Can I rest now? Like, seriously, can I rest now? I have been battling to prove what I've been dealing with and what my children have been dealing with, not to the rest of the world. I couldn't really give a shit, really, if the rest of the world is aware about EDS or not. It's the GPs, it's the social workers, it's people that make judgments and assumptions. Let me just move out. I'm in a bit of a dark. I've got my charger on, so I'm sort of plugged in. This is because my screen needs sorting. And today, I just want to sleep, but I need to kick my ass, and I need to kick my own ass. And I find coming on live like this sometimes a little bit easier. I like the fact that you can't see my face as well. It's quite nice, especially when I'm feeling like this. My boys are having a wonderful time. My mum sent me videos and photographs of them together. They're having a wonderful time. They're so happy. And I hope now, to all you teenage mums out there, yeah, don't have a go at your mums when, like, they're not the grandparents that you need them to be when you're a young mum. I mean, my mum was only 34 when I made her a grandmother, I think. And it's been so beautiful and so lovely to see my mum as a nan. And today she hit me quite hard with some truths that, you know, the battlefield that I'm going through, and I don't need to worry about it. And it's like, she's like, I'm a nan. I could probably only cope with them for 2 days and I'd have to give them back, Kellie. So she doesn't want to take them away from me. Nobody wants to take my kids away from me. People just want me to be happy and okay and living the life that I deserve. But today I can finally do that, and that's because the letter has come through finally. Let me just move out of this area for a bit because the light is really annoying me. I need to open my curtains. The only reason we don't really open the curtains here is because it's so not private. I can show you out on my balcony for a bit. The sun is starting to come out. Oh no, I've sent the sun back in. Come on, sun, come back out. I'm in a good mood now. Come back out. I'm joking. Oh wow, it stinks. Wow, where's that coming from? It stinks. Anyway, I want to go out on my skates, and I do, but the fact is, I really got to get in for this scan. Fact. And if I keep pushing my own, the good thing is my kids are in. After 21 years, I mean, is it 21 years? How long have I been doing this? Like, seriously. So I had my first child, Liam, when in 1996. So when Liam was born, he was born with a cleft. So he had full-blown hair lip and a soft palate and no gum. And a floppy gloppy body, and he could do all of the little things that I probably would have been like when I was a kid, and had a shoulder that just sort of went down, and when he was playing and as he got older, and exactly the same I've noticed with all of my kids, when they're trying to walk they fall over a bit, quite a lot, and they don't seem to make the ankle bone sort of go together properly. So then we went to Belfast, and I was first ever diagnosed in Belfast. So that was me and Liam diagnosed in Belfast, and then Liam was referred to Manchester, and he was seen by the paediatrics there. And I have just been, you know, just the guinea pig. I was a guinea pig for Wrightington Hospital. I was a guinea pig for Preston Hospital. Preston Hospital were really good with me. I could literally go in and to Chorley, bob into the sub of Chorley, which was a really small little place, and just sort of say, like, my thumb isn't going in and stuff. And she used to sit and try and make braces for me and come up with a way of doing it. So I'm going to get all these little finger splints on my wish list, and you're not really going to understand. And some people have said, Kelly, put this wish list up that you need. And I need things that other people wouldn't necessarily get. And I don't need them because it's a luxury. It's not. I need them because they help my joints stay in place and it makes my life easier. Like, I wear leggings and things and stuff, like even under my clothes and things, because it just gives it a little bit of support. And officially, especially for dancing or skating or even just cleaning and doing things, it's a shame my videos aren't working on it properly. I get a bit more light in here and see. It probably makes it a bit worse. So basically, this letter, I didn't manage to get. So what actually got me, shall I tell you what actually got me to the specialist, Professor Bird? Shall I tell you? In 2004, I got done for the cultivation of 27 cannabis plants in Leyland, right? I actually had children, and even social didn't intervene, and they actually said it improved Daniel's asthma. That was a long time ago. It's in the papers. It's public. It's even been mentioned. It wasn't even allowed to be used in my court case because I had an absolute discharge from a high court that said that I was allowed to use cannabis for medicinal rather than using. Shall I list you off my medication? Paracetamol, Cocodamol, ibuprofen. So today I've taken painkillers. So today I'm on Cocodamol, ibuprofen. I should be on tramadol, but I've got the boys coming back later, and I should be on morphine. So I'm not willing to go to any form of opiates. Everybody goes on about crackheads and smackheads and all of this, but do you realise that actually most people who have pain deal with opiate drugs, prescription medication is one of the biggest problems ever in. Now my Facebooks will get shut down. Okay, so they've been pumping pills into me since I was 13 years old. So I think they put me on the first antidepressants when I was about 13, 14, maybe 15. And then when I had my first child, and nobody believed that I had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I'm glad I've been through this, really, because I get to expose a whole side that nobody's got the balls to expose. And it's like, so what you all know that I'm dealing with in my neck, that once we get to the specialist will explain to people that with EDS you have cranial instability, like I showed you all the other day, like with all of this. So all of this is all loose, everything is all clickety-clickety. This is EDS, if you want to understand what EDS is. So basically, just to remind people, you would do the Benton score. Can you put your hands on the feet? Can you? So if I asked every single one of you to push your thumb here, yeah. Hey, notice, guys, when I haven't got my kids, when all the energy is focused on me, where I can do whatever I want, where I can be whatever I want. I haven't got long enough to go to London, so I'm not doing that. But London's come to me today, so I haven't got to go to London. It's done. I will be heading to the University College London Hospital, NHS Foundation at Houston Street, so it won't even be private. It's going to be on the NHS, and even if Rodney Bird has retired, as they say he has, the fact that it's gone to him, it will now be sent to his new appointee. So I will still get to speak to somebody within the EDS hypermobility spectrum specialist, where I can actually think these people can teach me, these people can now help me, these people can now educate me and explain to me what the fuck is going on with my body, because my left hip is going so when I'm walking now, I'm having to chunk my left hip with me, and it's really doing my nutting. I know what they'll say: no skating, no netball, no physical contact, no running, no sports, no. Don't extend your body. You're not going to be able to dance because you're not meant to put your body in any position that is against. So for somebody like you, that means I have to constantly keep my hand in the proper position. That is fucking impossible for somebody like me. Shall I pick my keys up? This is currently okay. Shall I pick my ashtray up? This is currently okay. No, I'm feeling the pressure. I'm feeling the pressure in my thumb. Oh, and I've just clicked in my neck. Now, shall one go and grab? One has a cup. This cup has water in it, as if it was coffee. Now watch. Let's move my phone out of the way. Now watch. Hang on. Right, so I have to get a coffee cup to drink like this. I have to make sure I do this. Now let's try and do it like this. Are you ready? Let's try. Hang on. Even this, hang on. Let's try and do it like this. Now, depends, sometimes they're hot. Are you ready? Oh, it's not even going to do it now. I'm not going to make it do it. But my thumb will literally just go badunk. So let's try and hold a coffee cup, yeah? Can you hold, how do you hold a coffee cup? Let me try and do it in my right hand. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh. See? I have to do things differently. Now, fuck that, me letter, I'm like, no, get me letter out the water. Get me letter out the water. I knew, lucky I moved my phone, wasn't it? Ah, shit, I've got my letter wet. I actually have got my letter wet. At least I have my letter, hey. So that means, oh, let me move my phone. That means that as a mother, I don't care. I've got my children to specialists, people who really truly understand why my children sleep like this, why my children bend their hands over, why my children sit in the W, so that means that their knees and feet are out, why we can all scratch the middles of our backs and do all this, which is good and it's really handy, but more to the point, you know, why we get so tired so easy, why we get so exhausted. Like, I mean, my neck is killing me. It really is. It's horrible. It's horrible dealing with pain. To deal with emotional pain and to deal with physical pain is a really, really hard thing to do. Trauma, pain. So this is trauma. So I don't know if you can hear that. You can probably. It's literally just going. And then try doing normal things every day, and you know, even things like trying to do my hair, and it hurts. It really does. I get pins and needles in my hands and pins and needles in my shoulders, and like my head feels really heavy. My head feels heavy all the time. I really enjoyed laying there this morning. Dean was here last night. He's gone off to do a couple of projects, and I've been a bit firm. I think I just wanted to be left alone today. I haven't had a night and a day to just get some sleep and rest for such a long time. Such a long time. I mean, when you're a mum and you've got babies and newborns and you're breastfeeding, and well, natural feeding, as I should say, and you're getting up during the night and everything. I mean, my boys sleep through the night, that's not a problem. And they slept through the night at Nanny's last night, so I'm happy. My kids are happy at Nanny's, that makes me happy. And they're having a wonderful day. Weather's not so great, but they're having a wonderful day. Elijah looks a little bit sort of out of sort, and I think he probably would have liked to have had like daddy, mummy and nanny and all of that sort of stuff like they do at Peppa Pig, and that will be playing on his head. He'll be thinking about nanny and granddad and everything. This is what Aaron and Faith were like. Aaron like used to love Peppa Pig, and all I used to get was like his daddy, and his daddy lives in a farm and he's got chickens and horses and lots of dogs, and my daddy, and he hadn't seen his daddy, and it was like really heartbreaking because, you know, he was so young and he wanted to know like where was his dad, and his dad wasn't alienated by me in any way, shape or form. You know, he did that himself with drugs and alcohol and being physically violent with me, but I never stopped him seeing the kids. He was even offered a contact centre. I said I didn't want them in with other drug dependents because I didn't want my kids in that situation. And as much as, you know, my kids understand the difference between us being on the streets and talking to people who are homeless, they understand that there's drugs and alcohol involved. But I choose for my children to be clean living. Um, I'm hoping that with the DJing that Dean does, if he ever gets his equipment, um, that the festivals will prove that, like, the clean living that. Um, and that's why I don't want painkillers. I don't want to be drugged out of my fucking nut. But it's like, unless you're getting the treatment, that's what you're doing. And do you know what? What I've found with most people who live on the streets, most people who take drugs, and even drink, because I spend so much time listening and talking and understanding their lives and where they've come from, and over the 6 years of being here in Portsmouth, and really, really getting to know, like, some of the people who, you know, do live in these environments. A lot of them's back pain, or it's hip, or it's stomach problems, or um, neck problems. Um, Sometimes it will be that they used to be like working and or were in the army or in very, very physical jobs when you're speaking to a lot of the men, and they would have injured themselves at work or something. Um, and then if it brings it back to one of the mums in Liverpool who was being told that she was a crackhead, well, she wasn't. It's period pains. Lots of women, endometriosis is only just being talked about. I don't want to talk about my mum's life, but, like, I mean, endometriosis is such a normal woman's health, like, challenge, and it comes with such horrendous pain, and it's only just being discussed in awareness that women are battling things like that. You know, we don't talk about periods. I've had to explain to two teenage girls today that if they're having sexual relationships, I've had to have the whole, you know, what's a condom, what's a femidom, what's the pill, what's the things, and it's like, you know, their parents are not stopping them having sex, and it's like they have nobody else to turn to ask these things. So I didn't go and meet with them today because I thought I'd just not putting myself in a vulnerable situation, but I had a conversation with them over the phone. And it's like, I was trying to explain to her, because obviously teenagers understand oral sex and sexual penetration. So I had to have a conversation about when a man ejaculates in your mouth. And I said, you know, when you get that final one, but you get a tickle before? When you're having penetrative sex, there is a tickle before, because all of these children seem to think that the rhythm method works, and that if you pull the penis out, one is not going to get pregnant. That's not the fucking case, mate. It when you're doing sexual penetration and penis enters into vagina and it causes friction to the point that seminal fluid enters into the body or over the chest, the tits, wherever a man wants to put it, there is little swimmers that still fertilise the egg. This leads to children. And we're not getting this common, basic, natural thing, because children are even still laughing about farting. It's fucking natural. The Queen farts, women fart. I was watching last night, is it Stepford Wives? I didn't watch it all the way to the end, but I was giggling my shit off about the perfect ideal wife, not me right now, who's left her tap on. See, even just to get off that chair right now, I'm not actually straight. Shall I show you how I'm standing? Look. I'm having to stand on my tiptoes with my legs forward, because if I try to push my back outwards now, my hip and my discs would sort of go boom. So I have to sort of bring out my ankles and my knees and everything. I'm like 43 now, so even as an old person, you start getting aches and pains anyway, because you put your body through so much fucking crap, and we don't train right, and people just go, hey, I'm fit and healthy, I'm going to go for a run. And people don't even know how to run properly. I actually haven't been doing my course, by the way, for the personal training thing. I'm really fuming with that company. I didn't even pay the second fee yet. I'll sort that out on the 18th and make a decision. And I'm annoyed as well because my birthday's on bloody Monday and I'm not paid till Tuesday. Ah! But I have had Dean here saying he's paid. We do whatever we want. Da, 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 da. So for everybody who thinks Dean just turns up when he gets paid, no, Dean turns up 2 days before I get paid, as you know, because he's paid. And actually, he's not really living that way now. He's back self-employed, so you know, I know it's only a tenner, but he's dropped me off a tenner today. And I know some people go, you know, what's